Name is Greg Miller. I've been attending for 7 years.
My name's Abby Miller, and I've been attending for 7 years as well.
So, obviously, you two know, I really got to start coming alongside some of your journey when I had the privilege to walk alongside you two in premarital counseling, then leading up to the wedding. And I think during that time, we had our first conversation about what it looks like to trust God with the tithe, with putting God first financially. So can you jog my memory of what that conversation was like, or if prior to that, what your experience or thought has even been when you've been in church and you've heard this whole concept of tithing? What did that look like?
For me, the tithe was very important growing up. It was definitely stressed, like, this is God's money, and that's kind of what my mindset was, especially growing up, this isn't even my money, 10% is just automatically His. I think where it hit a challenge for me was whenever I went out and started making money with my career, and that was a lot more than just $10 from birthday money. From that, just deciding that, maybe I won't tithe this time, or especially when, you've got bills and you have rent. I think it just became all too easy then to just start to get out of the habit of tithing.
Were there conversations around that with you two? What did that look like?
There definitely were. She has principles, and these are the principles, and we will stick to the principles. I am not that person. I'm just being honest. Not that I didn't see the value in tithing, but Abby, for the very long time, it's important that we tithe. Why aren't we tithing? Greg, for me, it was a control thing. It was hard to give up that little bit extra and trust God that God was going to provide if anything did come up.
And not to provoke, but I think so many people are there. Why do you think mentally it was so tough for you?
Because I didn't trust God that He would provide, if I'm being honest. It's a hard thing that I can hold in my hand and say I have this much of. And so to just say, God, here is this, I am trusting you that whatever we are lacking, you will provide. For me, that was really hard to say, here is this material, I trust that you're going to restore that material, or in whatever way you do to me.
It's kind of a cliche, but I really do like it. And it's this whole thought that we don't give to get, but we get to give. And the blessings that come, we give because of who God is, how gracious He's been to us. It's our response. What have you seen in your lives since taking that step of obedience?
So there's been a lot. It's been as I said to you the other day, it's been a mountaintop of a year for us. Early January, we were setting a budget with the mindset. We had just received a rent increase from our apartment community. We decided then, we need to start saving for a house. And so we started laying out a budget. And in that, we decided that, before we even set up anything else, there needs to be the column right away. This is our tithe.
We found a house that I thought for sure was it. I was super excited about it, and it fell through. And I was just so heartbroken at that point. I was like, we're never gonna find a house in this market. Every time throughout the whole process, it came up, both me and Greg, I feel like God would say, do you trust me? And it wouldn't be this direct answer of, oh, you're gonna get a house on this day. It was, do you trust me?
And I remember we got a text from our realtor. We were sitting in service. We had just finished worship, and seeing on my phone the text from our realtor saying, hey, sorry, the offer fell through. They're not gonna go with you guys. And I remember right away, I just, in my mind, I was like, just cursing that, and so angry, and so audibly in my mind, I just heard God say to me, do you trust me? And I think that was the moment that I really had realized, this is something we have to trust God with. And not just the house, but everything. Do you trust me? Or do you trust that He will provide? And, He showed up and He is faithful. And then we found this house that we were able to purchase and put a bid in on it, and some really crazy circumstances with the people that owned it.
They had an all-cash offer on the table, and they chose to not accept it because they wanted a family to live in the house. We went to the live recording, and I remember just realizing, it's not about the house, it's not about any of this. God is all we need and he's going to provide what we need. So releasing that to him, I feel like finally, at least for me, like releasing the house, to just releasing whatever that is to him and saying, this is yours and you do what you want because I trust that you're going to take care of me.
For anyone in the room that could be on that edge but having the same reservations, what would you say to them?
Jump in. Trust God.
Don't expect it to be easy. He will come through and he will provide, even if it's just a sense of peace, knowing that you're walking with him in obedience with him.